Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's another time in the presence of God. It's been refreshing so far. So today we have, we can have a seat, please. So today we'll have, an important personality in our midst, an important guest that has, been through a path that some of us just want to start, trading. And I think I would quickly run through his profile before I bring him up stage. So Mr. Wisdom Ezekiel is a Nigerian business magnate, an investor, speaker, and a philanthropist who serves as a director at Pertinence Group. He holds a BA in business from Eden University, UK, and an executive MBA from the Metropolitan School of Business, also in the United Kingdom. Mr. Wisdom is also a member of board of 7 different organizations across 3 different industries. He's noted for his adherence to value investing and for his personal frugality, despite his immense success all across. He's also the founder of the first rising entertainment company designed for upcoming entertainers to realize their dreams, which is Ready Studios and Red Rush TV, the flagship initiative of Rush Towers Limited. Mr. Wisdom is a sought-after speaker at conferences and seminars. He's a thoughtful leader and a mentor to many, especially in the context of wealth creation. His impact is not far-fetched, as he's known for dishing out wisdom, and he's happily married to delightsome Temitokbe, and they are blessed with 2 children, Izuchuku and Osinachi. I think you should give him a round of applause for this. And also, Mr. Wisdom has written books, and to mention a few, he's authored a book called Desperate for Change series, and including Don't Get Mad, Get Rich, and Rush, and other books in line. So with a standing ovation, could you please welcome with me Mr. Ezekiel Wisdom. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We do not take this for granted. It is well appreciated, and we would be humbled and glad to learn from you on this path of building the preferred future. So, church, well, this is more of a career and entrepreneurship, class. And so we're still going to follow the same suit or the same trail which we have been following. So after we ask our special guest, certain questions, it will be thrown to the house, and you can ask questions, that you want to ask based on building the preferred future. Because basically the reason why we have this session is that we understand the implication of a future that is not prepared for. It's very, very fundamental. So, sir, I would, be starting the questions session by probably asking you, few questions before we throw it to the house. Having read your profile, which is very, impressive. In short, let me use the word extremely impressive. I am astonished. I am, how do I put it? I'm wowed with it. Yeah, I am wowed with it. I think that's the right word to use. So, I'd like to start with this question, sir. That in preparing for the expected future or the preferred future, can you please run us through the ABCs from the perspective of an entrepreneur or as a career person in achieving the preferred future?
All right, thank you very much, everyone. Praise the Lord. Okay, I'm very much comfortable when I'm around God's people. I facilitate in a lot of conferences, and whenever I'm in church, I'm very much at home, so I can say the truths in the name of the Lord. So thank you very much. All right, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate all the ministers and the lead pastor of the church, who I was told just stepped out not too long. Thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity. One thing you must know about profile is that they can be misleading. So don't take the profile for what it is, because sometimes there are more and sometimes there are less. So it's packaging. And that's one of the major things that you do as someone who wants to prepare for the future. You want to prepare for the future, you need to package. You can buy a bad product in a good package. Before now, they said good products sell themselves. But after the internet, good products don't sell themselves any longer. You need good packaging to be able
Sir,
to
can
sell.
I quickly ask you a question with what you just said?
Yes, sir.
You said packaging, sir. So how would we be able to know a good package from the outward appearance?
Or know a good product from the outward appearance? It's by the packaging. The packaging gives you a clue of what is inside the product. The package is today, the product is tomorrow. Okay? So when you see the package, what you are seeing is now. And that is giving you a clue of what will be inside, which is tomorrow.
Did you hear that? The package is today, the product is tomorrow.
Many people pay attention to tomorrow, but they leave today out of it. The thing is, today is that tomorrow you spoke about yesterday. So, if anything is to happen tomorrow, it has to start today. I was in a conference, I think it was on Friday. Yeah, it was on Friday. And we had two major speakers, or three. And the first speaker was a young man. The other speaker was an elderly man. So the first speaker spoke about how to prepare for the future and talked about a whole lot of things that businessmen need to start doing in order to position themselves for the future. Looking at the fact that the entire world is changing. Technology is taking over everything, including human beings. So there are human beings who are not human beings. They are created by robotics and all that. So he was telling us a lot, and he showed us a whole lot. And when the old man was to take the mic, he said the young man should sit down, that he wanted to say something. That the future is not tomorrow, the future is now. That he hates it when young men just come up and they are speaking English. That we're just speaking big grammar. We're doing analysis, we're doing projections. What's all of that? That the future is now. So when the third speaker came, the third speaker said something. He said, look, we had two generations. One is living in his future already. He's almost 70. So he told us the future is now. The first person that spoke is on his way to this future because he's about 40 years of age. He's on his way to the future. He said, so let's look at it this way. Let's draw a balance. The future is now, but you have to prepare for it. If you prepare today, you have a better future tomorrow. As an entrepreneur, it is not what do I want to happen tomorrow, it's what am I doing now. That is what will affect my tomorrow. I'm right here in this church. How I perform now will determine whether the leadership will say, let's invite him again.
That's correct.
So if I don't perform well now, forget about the future. The future does not exist for people who don't take cognizance of today. Today is your preparation for your tomorrow. So as an entrepreneur, you pay attention to the time that you have now. You pay attention to it. You pay attention to your product. You pay attention to your services. No matter where you are, you can actually do something that can get attention. Creativity is not supposed to really be expensive. It's supposed to be that people are using their mind. And some people, when they come to church, they say in the mosques, Muslims leave their slippers outside the door. In church, Christians leave their brain outside the church. But I think the generation of Christians that we have now are the ones who are encouraging, say, bring your brain inside the church. You should be able to question the things that are already Let me give you an instance, and before I listen to the next question. When you go for an interview, what usually do they ask you? They say, what is your experience? How many years of experience do you have? If you are not employed, go and volunteer. If they don't allow you to volunteer, just like I usually say, if they don't invite you to their party, organize one. Organize one. It's party. All party is party. They don't create platform for you. Create one for yourself. Have you heard of street fashion show? It means you didn't have money to rent a hall. You do it on the street. By so doing, you have done a fashion show. That's your experience. You can put it in your resume that I've done several fashion shows. I went to a seminar, and usually at a particular time I started saying I don't want to attend those kind of seminars. You know those kind of seminars where they call where 2 or 3 are gathered. Where you invite big people, but you are not able to pull the crowd. So I got to the seminar and I saw the where 2 or 3 are gathered, and I saw the number of people that this guy has been able to pull, and I encouraged him. I said, my brother, add it to your resume. You have organized a successful seminar. So it's what you do today that determines the future. The future is not in view if you are not doing anything today. Thank you.
Yeah, you can hear what he just said. The future is not in view if you're not doing anything. So we need to start creating values for ourselves on the way to where we're going to. The future is now. So how would you create relevance to your preferred future? It is now. So that takes me to the next question based on what you just explained, that you should never be out of work. So if you're not going to be out of work, that means you're creating value to be able to be relevant to the preferred future. Now, what I think is of essence or fundamental to this is time management. So how would you advise a young entrepreneur or a young career person to manage the in-between of all these schedules on the way to that preferred future?
Okay, one of the things that will... Okay, let me take it this way. I like church because we give hope. Okay? We do a lot of helping people to stay true. That's why people come to church, because when they come to church, the pastor will preach and tell you, it shall be well. You are making it. Something good is about to happen. And all through the week, you probably will not see much of good. You now come back the next week and will prophesy again and say something good is about to happen. So we give a lot of hope. Well, let me ask you a question. Hope is painting the picture of something that can be. But between the time you paint a picture and the time it becomes, there is something you need to do. Elijah said to them, when they called him, that, look, you are the one that said there should be no rain. And right now we are suffering. People are dying. What should we do? And Elijah said, don't worry. Go and tell the king. You should not worry. That in the next couple of period, there will be rain. And Elijah left and went to start praying. I thought he would just declare, the same way he declared and said there should be no rain. He should just declare there should be rain. He went on his knees and started praying. And while he was praying, he asked his servant to keep observing. Observe to see the wind. Observe to see what you will see. Anything you see, come and tell me. Several times he came back to tell him, I didn't see anything. At the time when he came in, I said, I saw like a hand. He said, that's enough. Once you have seen it, that's enough. And he came out and there was heavy rain. Now, what am I saying in essence? Between your hope, between the promise of hope and the manifestation of hope is commitment. Is commitment. We started our business in a place we call Primatech Plaza at Akuwonjo. The very popular place at the roundabout at Akuwonjo. We rented a very big office. The office was very big. I'm trying to describe the office. Very, very big. If you know the way I'm emphasizing on the big, you understand what I'm trying to say. Very, very big. I'm trying to use one of the... Okay, let's say a section of here is bigger. Something, half of the section of this place. That was the way we had the office. And we demarcated it into two. He said this one is for the directors, and this one is for training and reception. And right there, we will be the first people to resume in that place and the last people to close. How we know that it's late is when we see the security people come around to come and greet us. They say, "Oga, good evening, sir. Well done, sir." I will not say, that's how we know that it is late, because we're so committed in what we're doing. People don't get committed because they have not seen things start happening. But what will make you start seeing things happen is your commitment to what you are doing. So you have a small business, get committed. Right now, this suit I'm wearing now, I've not worn suit in a long while. I don't wear suit any longer. But those days, you dare not see me without suit. Wear suit and tie. Even though the suit is what we call kosuble. Coat, suit, and blazer all together.
3 in 1.
3 in 1. That's what we used to wear. But I will wear the suit alongside with my partner. We'll go to work. My wife asked me, "Where are you going to?" "I'm going to work." She knows I had this commitment to work and duty. And that's what will bring about the future that you are looking for. That's what we call commitment. Is what helps you to now begin to prioritize your time. It's commitment. When people are not committed to a thing, they waste time. They lose time because no commitment. Commitment is staying put in what you believe, in the design, until it produces a result. If you don't stay put, it would not produce the desired result. So in any business that you are into, whether the business have started giving you a little, income or not, stay committed to it. In fact, investors will look out for the character of the managers of the business. Mm-hmm. I am an investor. There's a particular company that they just did a presentation to me about 2 months ago of a particular business they are looking at. And by the time I asked them how much they were looking at a very small amount of money, maybe like a 30 million naira investment. But my investing into that business was not because of whatever income expected. It's because of the commitment of the young men I saw. I saw men who are committed. Without anybody, they have been able to grow the company to an extent that I can see the fire in them. That's what I want to invest in. The reason why you don't have investors, nobody can see fire in you. You are saying this product is good, but you don't believe in the product that is good. You are not committed to the product that is good. Have you seen an average Igbo boy market a product around? He will be marketing it as if this product is the one that will cure all the disease in the world. Have you been to Molue before and you see when they are marketing one product? Many of you don't enter Molue. That's where I'm coming from. Now, you see somebody bring out something and is marketing it. And he's telling you this product can cure this, can cure that. You think that by buying that one, everything is done. After you finish buying that one, he brings out another one. And say, this one can also cure this, cure that. And you're wondering, what about the one that we bought? It is the commitment to what you are doing. There's something called prospecting. Many business people now, what they do is that they open shop, print complimentary card, have a website, have a social media network, and they just post. People are no longer doing prospecting. You prospect. You book appointments with people. I want to come and see you. In your office, at home. Sometimes some people say, I have working hours. An entrepreneur does not have working hours. You work every day. You work in your mind. You work physically. You don't have working hours. What am I doing here? I'm working. After I'm through here, when I get home, I will continue work. I work to the extent where I have an office in my house. So you've been to my house. Upstairs, there's an office in my house. A library / an office. Because I work everywhere. Show commitment to what you are doing. Prioritize your time. And have a quantity time invested into what you're doing. Some people say it's quality time invested in. You can't just invest quality time in business. In business, it's quantity time. For family, it's quality time. Yeah. Family is quality time. When you are there, you ensure that they feel your impact. Okay? But for business, you stay put. You are watching. If you don't watch, you won't know where the loopholes are. So many of us are running businesses that are running at losses because you have not observed. Recently, I discovered one of our loopholes. Every month, I will see that they changed bulb in the office. We have a very massive building. And I will see 200 and something thousand, 300 and something thousand for changing of bulbs. I had to call the electrician and say, come. I said, you are a fraud, though. You are a fraud. He said, how can you be changing bulb every month and you are comfortable with it? How am I able to discover that? Commitment, looking at the books. I look at inflow and outflow. That's my business now. I have a couple of guys who manage the business, but I look at inflow. I have to ensure that anything that is coming in, I ensure that they come in well. My doors are very open in case you want to invest. No, the door is very open. Then I ensure that I close the door of the outflow door to ensure that not much goes out so that I can retain. That's why I keep opening different businesses. I love the backward integration system of business. So when we're having issues with our IT, I started an IT company. We're having an issue with branding. I started a branding company. We're having issues with construction. I started a construction company. So I just have companies like that at the end of the day, the money is revolving around. But what am I saying in essence? As an entrepreneur, commitment is key. Is the fire that the investor is looking for. Some of you have good products, you have good services, but you don't have the fire. It's not just passion. Say, I have passion. Passion is not a figure. Passion is commitment. Passion is not a posture. So I'm committed. No.
So we can see that in managing time and meeting deadlines, commitment is a driving factor to time management. Is that correct, sir?
Very correct.
So you heard what he said also, that quality time is directly proportional to family life, and quantity time would help you make good time management in business. And I think, being an entrepreneur, I think he's right, because, he said something which I like. He said he does what he manages now is more of outflow and inflow. So he says he oversees the entire business outlook. So the quantity time is, timing has been quantified. Oh, for finance, this time will go. For operations, this time will go. For HR, this time. So the times are quantified. So it is very, very fundamental for us, like you rightly said, that we should get committed in order to be able to get into the preferred future. So commitment will be the fire that will drive us. So the next thing I would like to ask is this. In understanding the preferred future, in being committed and having the fire drill that becomes, very obvious to maybe to investors or to your staff. So how now would it not be tantamount to being too desperate for change the wrong way by overworking yourself? I don't know, is that question clear, sir?
Okay, it's clear. I think for you to get attention, people need to see your desperation. The woman with the issue of blood said, I just need to press through. She got this Jesus' attention by her desperation. So, let me tell you something. Whether you succeed or not, people have their opinion. My pastor will say people have mouths. They will say anything. If your life is focused on what people will say, then your life will be up and down. Because when people talk right, you go up. When people talk down, you go down. So for me, it's a question of what do you want? Haven't designed what you want, go for it. Let them say you are desperate. It's accepted. Let them say you are too passionate. Your blood is hot, as we used to say it in Lagos. Your blood is hot. No problem. Your blood needs to be hot. If you don't have money and your blood is cold, something has happened to you. Something is wrong somewhere. It's when you have a lot of resources, your blood cannot be calm. Right now, when you hit my car, I will hardly come down to talk. And when I come down, it's just to settle. Don't worry. Just apologize. Insurance will fix it. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. So your blood needs to be hot when you don't have it. It's when you now have it that your blood can now start getting cold. I was telling some people recently, I say, I just discovered that I'm still a poor man. Yes. I'm 38. I'll be 39 in October. I'm 40 next year, October. And I'm celebrating my 40th birthday in a grand style. Now, by God's grace, what we control, right now we have about 8 companies. 2 are already in the pipeline to make it 10. And I have a vision to have up to 100 companies, good companies, well-capitalized companies. And there is none of the companies that, all the companies that I talked about, the least of them will do an average of 200 million per annum. The least of them, yeah. Some of them are doing, there's particular one, this quarter alone, we have done over 2 billion already, this quarter alone. Now, I'm just giving you that so that when I talk, you will appreciate what I'm saying, that this is practical. Are you getting what I'm saying? They are practical. When I told them I was poor, it was because I went back to reflect about the things that God has told me and shown me. I compared it with the fact that there are people of my own age that are now global leaders who have done much more than I've done. My brother, why would my blood be hot?
Yearn for more.
When I look at, the reason why I want to be rich is not so that I can amass a lot of wealth, buy big cars, live in big houses. That's not the reason at all. I have a vision to have a technical college, private technical college, and it will be tuition free. I have a vision to have a university that will be tuition free. I have a vision to have a hospital where people will be treated for free. Because we are in a country where people are dying every day for just headache, malaria. How much will they take to treat malaria? I have a vision to impact people. So my blood has to be hot to make wealth for all of us. I want to say something. Dangote is not solving his problem. He's solving your problem. That's why he's rich. Until you go beyond solving your problem, you can never become rich. If the reason why you want to become rich is because... So that's why if you talk anything, say I'm too desperate, no problem. I know where I'm going. Our country is said to be one of the poorest countries in the world. Why wouldn't we be desperate and have a change? I have a series called Desperate for Change. So it's part of the things that I've put in. You have to be desperate. People have to see the desperation in you before they can give you attention.
Yeah, I was going to go to that. And that's why I picked the word desperate at the initial stage. Like you said, if I remember the parable of the unjust judge, it was exactly what you said. The woman, when she kept persisting, the judge said, let this woman wear me out. Let me give it to her. That was when she got what she was supposed to. So on getting to the preferred future, you need to be desperate with the vision that has been outlined down. Those are the things that will push you. Those are the things that will drive the commitment in you. And so that takes me to that question. So why and how did you come out with that book, Desperate for Change series?
Okay, I discovered that a whole lot of people, okay, let me give you this way. There are things that in your life, they came very easily. For some people, you went to school, it was very easy. Your parents were not that rich, but they were able to send you to school. It was very easy for you to pass your exams. When they teach you in class, you understand. You were not like some of us. Some of us that were very intelligent. We come first from the back. Somebody was telling, I took some people to my village and my mom was telling them a story of how I came 27th in class, but I brought 7th home. Okay, you didn't understand what I just said. I came 27th, but I brought 7th home because I cleaned the 2. And it was remaining the 7. So for some of us, it wasn't easy to go to school, really. It was a tough time. Every education I ever have today, I paid for it. So I didn't have a parent that would say, you must go to school. I will pay your school fees, you must go. They didn't pay your school fees, you are not going. That's your own cup of tea, you know. So for some people, it was like that. They had those kind of stressful, track when it comes to education. For some people, it's marriage. They had everything going for them, but to get married is a problem. You know, they get engaged and the thing just, something happens and it doesn't work out. For some people, it's business. You struggle. So I said, look, when you are in a place where things are not working out the normal way, then you need to become desperate. That's why the Bible said that the kingdom of God is suffering violence. It's the violent that takes it by force. So there are things that comes by grace, but there are some things that will come by force. You will take it because you need it. You will take it because it's what you want. You know, so that's why I wrote the book, Desperate for Change. That there was a time in my life when I was desperate for change. I needed something to change in my life. And I just felt that if I don't do something, this thing will linger. It will continue. I know they have prophesied to you that you become wealthy. But my brother, if you do nothing about the prophecy will be fulfilled by your children. And if your children do nothing about it, maybe your children. It's somebody that does something about it that will, all these things are in scriptures.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.